Now that I've had a chance to test out this brand new Ganzo Firebird FH51, yes, it's time for the review. How you doing? If this is your first time here, my name is Jay, and if you're looking for knife reviews that get right to the point, go ahead, click on subscribe. You should be looking at some specs right now. These are measurements that I had taken myself, but I'll also have them listed down in the description below just in case any of you want to follow along throughout the video. I would like to first thank my friends over at Power Cutlery for sending this knife along to the channel for me to review. If you are interested, I'll include a link to Power Cutlery down below. They're great people to deal with, and they get the knife out to you in a hurry. Let's do a few comparisons so you can get a good idea of the actual size, and we'll start out with another Ganzo, the FH51. This next knife is the budget brand for Kaiser Cutlery, and being the Tangram Santa Fe. How about a Spyderco and the Para 3? Next up is the Bug Out from Benchmade. And lastly, the Kaiser Vanguard Dukes. Starting out with the blade, what do you guys want to call this? I consider it a modified sheepsfoot, but you know what? I'm good with sheepscliff or wormfoot, whichever you like. And it also features Ganzo's go-to blade steel lately, the D2, with a nice high polished satin finish. It's flat ground, and it does taper quickly to a very fine point, but we're gonna talk about that more here in a second. The forward finger choil is just big enough for my medium-sized hand. The deployment action with the flipper tab, it's pretty darn good, although I can pretty much fail it whenever I want. The blade is in fact riding on a ball bearing pivot. And even though I consider this detent to be a little on the weaker side, it is, oh yeah, you can see it's definitely strong enough to where I'm unable to shake the blade open. And the closing action is also pretty good as well. Now it does, at least my example, it does kind of drop shut, but it does take a little bit of shake and bake. But to be honest, since this blade, it's very light, I don't think that this blade will ever like fully just kind of drop shut on its own. And that thumbnail closure that some of you like to do, oh yeah, very, very easy with the FH51. Once open, the nested liner, it looks like it's locking up at about 20%, and the centering, oh yeah, wow, that's good. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's pretty darn close. The 4.10-inch long G10 scales are fairly comfortable because of, if you stare down the sights, if you can kind of see, they are slightly contoured shape, and well, also the fact that there's no sharp edges anywhere on this handle add to that comfort. I almost have to choke up on this 0.49-inch thick handle in order to fit all of my fingers. So those of you that have maybe the larger hands, you might only be able to get, you know, a 3-finger grip on this knife. Even though the scales, they do look very smooth, the traction is good. It's very good. And you can see there is some very widely spaced jimping up here on the blade spine. The only problem that I have with it is I wish it extended out just a little bit further, because this is kind of, at least for me, my natural grip, and it's on the flat of the spine. Not a huge deal though. Oh, and there's a little bit of jimping. You guys see there? Yep, on the flipper tab as well. Very effective jimping. As you can see, the pocket clip here, it is in fact a deep carry. It's going to be tip up only, just for righties. Yeah, no left-handed option. And did you notice at the attachment point where the clip is mounted, you can see it is in fact recessed or nested. So that is nice, especially if you have pant pockets with thicker material. You can see I got out the cutting board. So let's see how well this 3.3 millimeter thick blade, let's see how well it slices. Wow, that's fantastic. Did you see that? That stuff was just like kind of flying off as I was cutting it. Check out the finish. Oh yes, very, very good at slicing. Before I toss this up on the scale, I just want to go ahead and show you, it is, for the most part, I guess we could consider that open back construction, because it's just got just the one kind of short back spacer. And if you see on the inside, yep, right there, they did in fact skeletonize at least just the one liner in an effort to reduce the weight. And let's see how they did. They did excellent. 2.8 ounces, which is going to be roughly the equivalent, 1, 2, 3, about 3 AA batteries, or almost the same exact weight as the Kaiser Vanguard Dukes. Before we get to my potential deal breakers, there's something that if I could quickly just tease you with. I did get the go-ahead, the green light from Power Cutlery. Yes, you can see I have 2. I'm going to give away one of these FH51s. But you want to make sure stick around, because I will tell you exactly what to do in order to enter in the drawing. Potential deal breaker number 1 is going to be, well, regarding the size, because depending on your own hand size, you may have to choke up on this knife in order to use it, because if you don't, you're going to find your pinky probably hanging off the end there. Potential deal breaker number 2 is the forward choil is a little on the small size. I mean, I can just fit my finger in there, but think about this. Now, if you have a knife, you have larger hands, so that means you're going to have to choke up on this. But your finger may not fit in that choil. It really does. It needs to be just a little bit bigger. And the last potential deal breaker, it's not a huge deal, but it's regarding this pocket clip and the fact that there is no lefty love. I don't think it would have took too much to maybe just put in 2 holes on the other side, but they did not. So where does that leave us with this knife? Well, whether you like Ganzo knives or not, you have to admit that they continue to be just the best value currently in the knife market, and the FH51 is absolutely no exception. For $25, yeah, you heard me right, 25 bucks, you're getting D2 steel, which is going to hold an edge for a good long while, ball bearing pivot, and you're getting that deep carry pocket clip that comes standard. Now, I absolutely love flipper deployed knives. I mean, it's honestly, it's my preference, but I think that this knife would be better suited if it had thumb studs and a G-lock because of the shape of this blade. Get rid of the flipper tab, and then you would be able to make even more contact on when you're cutting on a flat surface. So if you were looking for a small to medium-sized, light-duty budget folder with excellent slicing ability and edge retention, I do recommend the FH51. And yes, the giveaway, very exciting. So on May 13th, so that's this coming Monday, May 13th, I don't want to drag this out. So it gives you a couple days to go ahead and enter. And to do so, yeah, subscribers only, please. And if you can just answer the question of how many Ganzo knives do you currently have in your collection. If it's 0, then it's 0. This might be the first one. And it doesn't matter where you live. I really don't like singling anybody out. So May 13th, subscribers only. And how many Ganzos do you currently own in your collection. So I would like to thank Power Cutlery for making all of this possible, and thanks to you for watching. I really do appreciate it. And if you enjoyed this video, maybe just go ahead and leave a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, click on subscribe if you're looking for knife reviews that get right to the point. So I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.